everyone, welcome back to the IO Panel Podcast, episode 210. My name's Evan. I'll be your host this week. Joining me, as always, two friends, confidants, maybe soon to be one, Mike and James. How you guys doing this week?
Pretty good.
If you're not choking yourself to death.
Are you drinking coffee out of a fucking Tupperware container?
No, I'm just drinking.
He was out of plates.
I'm drinking faux broth. No, I'm just kidding. It's tea.
Okay.
It's tea. Yeah.
That doesn't make it okay.
What the hell?
He's like, it's just tea. It's just tea. Like,
It's a vessel for liquid, god damn it.
Yeah, there. It's a vessel for liquid.
There.
Do you remember, like 2 months ago, when you misspoke and you were like, "I'm drinking tea out of a bowl because I was all out of plates."
Nice.
Good times. Okay.
Sounds about right.
We've had some laughs. We've had some good times pre-show. How you guys doing this week?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good.
Anything worthwhile to report? It was Thanksgiving.
You know, if you recall, I know you don't celebrate that holiday because you reject the white man and all his nonsense, which I appreciate, Evan. Thank you.
I never made that claim. Mike is once again putting words into my mouth.
You didn't
unsubstantiated rumors.
Mm-hmm. Did you eat turkey?
No, I think I went to Panda Express.
Ha! Yes!
the great American Thanksgiving lonely tradition.
Yep. Well, that's my
Chinese
other people,
food.
So I appreciate it, Evan.
Yeah, no problem.
So yeah, it was Thanksgiving. Had So last week I misspoke. I thought we were having pâté chinois.
Yes.
But apparently I convinced my mother that we needed to have a traditional Thanksgiving spread. I don't know why we use that word. It's very weird. But so we got a turkey, made stuffing, had cranberries, what else? Mashed potatoes, mashed rutabagas, and Brussels sprouts.
Fucking natives always mashing up a root, calling it food. Indians.
It's very weird.
So
we don't eat the plant. We eat the root.
It's
like carrots.
Weird. Yeah, it's weird.
It's like carrots. We eat the root.
But I think carrot, the leafy part of a carrot is bitter as fuck. It's like really gross, apparently.
I probably.
I'm sure rutabaga is the same way. It's probably gross.
It's like the leaves of a tomato. Aren't they poisonous or some shit?
Really?
I don't know.
Although that's not a root vegetable, but you know, yeah. That's a fruit. Haha.
I mean, there's green shit everywhere, though. If you were you are a native, but if you were a native and you were looking around at something to eat, dude, tomatoes look great. The leaves, not so much.
Well, yeah. I wonder who figured out an orange. You know, they bit into it. And they're like, god damn. And they're like, well, this inside shit isn't bad. You know, like, look at that.
Dude, have you ever seen a dragon fruit?
Yeah,
I have.
Or what's that thing with all the seeds?
A dragon fruit?
Is it a dragon fruit with all the little
pomegranate?
Pomegranate.
Oh, pomegranate, yeah.
Yeah, so the pomegranate has the seeds surrounded by the little gelatinous, and you kind of suck the meat off the seeds and spit the seeds out. Who eats those? Who figured that thing out?
I don't know if you spit the seeds out.
No, maybe I'm mixing up your dragon fruit.
I think you're thinking of a guava, maybe?
Guava, maybe. Yeah, that's it. I don't know. But there's a lot of weird shit out there that
or coconut.
Dude, who would eat that?
How are you going to eat a coconut?
Dude. Yeah, I'd be like, I'd be like, oh, this is wood. If I was like some fucking like indigenous islander, I'd be like, oh, there's wood balls that grow on these things. You know?
Yeah.
You shake it like there's water in there. Okay, I'm surrounded by water. Who gives a shit? You know what I mean?
Don't stand under it.
And if you opened it up and you saw that, you'd be like, you cracked it open, you're like, this is disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
This white shit, you saw the white meat in there, you'd be like, oh, this is just the raw version of the outside. I'll hard pass, bro. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Juan. I'll pass. I'll go eat a parrot. Thank you.
Yeah.
That is true. So that's what we had, and gravy, of course. You know, blah blah.
How did you? What was the argument that you used to convince her to abandon her her Chinese pate plans.
I just, I mean, I wasn't like, I don't know. I was just like,
Just
oh
put
man,
your foot down.
I was just like, oh, I was really looking forward to regular blah blah blah.
The traditional
typical,
guilt.
and she
He's
was
like,
all
in
right.
Trump's America, China's the enemy, Mom.
That's true.
Yeah, right. Then she would have lost her shit. She probably would have jumped out the window if I said that to her. So. Fuck
Marco!
this!
I would have paid to see that.
Oh my god, dude! You know she's just sitting in front of the TV all day, losing her fucking mind. So.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Watching CNN, like, you see what he did? You see what he fucking did? Like every day.
That's like unfortunately the same on both sides because my dad is that, but the opposite.
Oh yeah. What's his all conspiracies? You see what they're putting in the toothpaste?
No, I mean, not necessarily like that, but yeah, I mean, Fox News and One American News Network or whatever.
So look
that's
at him, he's
like
wearing a
go-to.
mask. This idiot. It's a hoax. Like,
Yeah, I can't even imagine what they're saying over there. Like, it's like, you see this? You see this? It's crazy.
I mean, I told you, our friend.
Even Fox News is giving up the ghost though, man. They're like,
yeah,
they're done. But yeah, I mean, they complain about Gene Inslee because he was like, yeah, mask mandate, and the governor of because she's like, we're closing down the businesses because COVID's spiking. But for some reason,
sorry, go ahead.
I would say COVID's been going on a long time, so people like mentally are like tired of it. They're done, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's spiking. It's worse now than it was when it first started. You know.
You see what they did in Florida? Not Florida. They're not doing anything in Florida. They should be. In fucking California.
What they do?
Los Angeles.
What?
So, starting this either Sunday tonight or Monday, they're for 3 weeks, I think, till December 20th. They're like, all right, they're basically doing almost a full shutdown, except for, like, you know, like you have to wear a mask everywhere, basically, except inside your own house, kind of. And the only time you're allowed to like violate, you know, social distancing rules or whatever is like for worship, which is such bullshit. You know, but they're putting in these exceptions because these court cases are getting overturned and stuff. So
right.
Like that happened in New York, I think. And also like for protests, they said, you know. Like okay.
Which is also dumb.
It's a peaceful protest, and it's totally not a party.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
It's just
like,
Los Angeles County. So.
What about church and protests? Like no matter what you're protesting, you're wrong. You know what I mean? At this point in time, like you just need to not go out and protest because it's like a super spreader event, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever.
Right. Yeah. Well, here they haven't shut everything down yet, but they've reduced everything again. Like I think the bars and restaurants are still open, but it's down to like 25% capacity or 25 people, whichever is fewer.
Mm-hmm.
And then the bars or restaurants that serve alcohol have to close by 10 p.m. every night.
So let me ask something: is your grocery store doing anything? Because I know you live like right by the grocery store.
I believe they're reducing capacity again, although even when they were doing that before, I never had anyone like wait, like, you can't come in. Like that's never happened.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
So you haven't experienced that this week, though.
There's someone there keeping track of how many people are in and out, but
so probably at some point in time they're like saying, "Oh, you got to wait a second." So
I mean, maybe, although it hasn't happened to me. So.
The Trader Joe's, I go to Weiss, right? It's a cheap, shitty grocery store with cheap, shitty products. It's like the entire store is Great Value brand, or less, or lower, you know. But whatever, it gets me where I need to go, which is continues to keep me alive, you know, for the little bit of stuff that I eat that comes out of that store. Michael wants to laugh a little bit. It's like a little bit of stuff. So anyway,
don't project your shit on me, man.
Anyway, yeah, so
how many pounds of oatmeal have it? No, I'm kidding.
I go to I was looking for a shaker bottles, and I figured Trader Joe's will have shaker bottles because they have all this fucking weird stuff. You know what I mean? They have like shit like that. And I went to my grocery store. They had something similar, but not the right thing. So I went to Trader Joe's. I get out of the car, put on my mask, get out of the car, walk to the fucking store, and there's a line that's not social distance wrapping around the corner. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And this person's like, okay, you can go. I was like, oh no, I'm not doing that. This is crazy. Like I get social distancing, I guess because nobody goes to Weiss, there's never a line. And they don't care. Like they're not fucking, there's nobody like, okay, 25 people. They're not doing that, you know? And this is maybe before they decided we're going to reduce capacity. So maybe if I go tomorrow or later on today, they'll be doing it. I don't know.
I'm surprised they even did that because, I mean, they're reducing it in all of Maryland, but Montgomery County is always a step behind or a step more strict.
Yeah.
So if Maryland's phase 2, let's say, then Montgomery County's phase 1.
Yeah.
You know? So your county should probably be phase 2 unless they're more strict for some
Trader
reason.
Joe's is like uptight about this type of shit. I mean, they don't sell bacon. They refuse to sell bacon in their stores.
Like ever?
Really?
The Trader Joe, the one time I went to Trader Joe looking for bacon, the lady's like, we don't sell bacon. That doesn't mean all Trader Joe's don't sell bacon, and that doesn't mean that she doesn't know what she's fucking talking about. I never did the research. I just know she said, we don't sell bacon. And I was like, okay, well, fuck you. I'm out of here. This isn't a grocery store. If you don't sell bacon, you're not a grocery store. I don't know what the fuck you are.
I know another place.
You're
that
a
doesn't
Jewish
sell bacon.
deli.
Exactly.
Yeah, I guess. But that's not
But
it's not a grocery store.
Stuff. They sell
It's a
delicious
fucking deli, isn't it?
Yeah. So the Trader
Well,
Joe's near me does sell bacon, but they do not have lemon juice because they sell whole lemons. That's the justification.
Fuck off. Did you tell them to fuck right off with their uppity hippie standard? You tell them to take their Birkenstocks and smell like hemp oil ass and get the fuck out of here? Go drink some patchouli, you fucking hippie.
Because I realized
the juicer for all those lemons.
No. I realized, James, that the employees there were not making those decisions, so I chose to withhold my rage for that, incident.
Did you tell them to take off your drug rug and unroll those fucking dreadlocks?
Yeah.
You fucking.
So I'll set this fucking place on fire if you don't give me some goddamn lemon juice.
I will burn this place down. It will smell like patchouli for days out here with all the fucking shit I'm gonna burn out here.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Wow.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I don't like Trader Joe's.
You don't fucking say.
Not a fan. Things are expensive, and they think they're better than me. And they probably are, but it's annoying.
They do think they're better than you.
Yeah.
One of my friends tried to convince me that Trader Joe's is like a cheap place to buy groceries. I don't think it is.
Hell no, it's expensive. It's
I
like
think if
Whole
you're buying
Foods.
groceries for one person, maybe it's like this much stuff. You're like, I'm going to buy this much stuff, then maybe it's fairly inexpensive. But like if you're like, well, I need this, I need that, we're making this, we're making that, then it's
Aldi's is cheaper.
Yeah, it's cheap by the standards of like if you go to McDonald's.
Yeah.
All grocery stores are cheap, right?
Well, yeah.
So, but I mean, if you're gonna go buy vegan Impossible burgers, they're $20 or whatever for fucking 8 burgers. That's not cheap,
Yeah.
And you want to buy some buns, and the buns are only buns they have is artisanal whole wheat buns with fucking nutmeg mixed in the fucking bread or some shit, and that's $20 for a loaf. I mean, that's not cheap. I guess it's cheap compared to but making that sandwich from McDonald's, it's cheap and better for you, but it's not cheap. Weiss is cheap.
Yes.
Weiss is cheap in all the ways that matter and all the ways that don't. Yes, your colon might bleed after eating something from there, but you know what? You're going to go to bed full.
It's worth the risk.
Yeah, it's worth the risk. It's worth the risk.
Okay.
Worth the whisk. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's Weiss. It's a weird name.
Yeah, worth the whisk. Wet the whack.
So, Mike, even though your family's traditional holiday meal is like crabs, you chose to deviate from that on this special occasion to celebrate pay homage to your heritage.
Well, Well,
or
I'm not
something?
gonna say I'm just white person heritage. No, I wouldn't really say crab legs are our normal. I mean, they're kind of our normal thing, but it's not like our. It's more like we've had them several times, and now it's like, oh, it's a thing now. But
No, no.
wasn't was never really a normal thing.
For the last at least decade, every birthday, Christmas, every celebration is crab legs.
And what is wrong with that?
I'm not saying anything's wrong with it. I'm saying like that's the Blower family, the
That's
Blower
the Blower
household family
family
tradition.
meal. That is the
Yeah.
Blower family
And
meal.
you have a traditional ham every birthday? Is that what you're telling me?
No, I don't think I have. Like it's always different. I don't
Okay.
have a set meal to go to. I'm not
Okay. Fair enough.
I'm not making fun of you or anything. I'm just saying like, was there anything behind choosing a traditional Thanksgiving feast spread, as you're fond of saying, this year?
That's just what I was feeling.
Okay.
I was like, this is what I want. I got
How,
that in my head for some reason, and I was
how
like,
big a turkey did you get?
the smallest one I could find, which was 12 point something pounds.
Oof. Yeah,
I was gonna guess
like
14.
turkeys are like yikes. For two people, that's gonna be a hard one.
There's my mom was talking to somebody. They found an 8-pound turkey somewhere.
Oh jeez.
I was like,
Especially
Runt
wow.
of
if you
the
guys
litter.
know Michael's mom, she's gonna have a tablespoon of protein and then call it good. She
Oh,
eats like a goddamn
she already
bird.
boiled it down now.
Oh, she did. For
Uh-huh.
stock, she's stock and then
Yeah.
I guess whatever. Yeah, that's a good approach.
It's funny
How
too,
come you
because
didn't?
like all the meat is there, like it's and it's like she's like, you can eat this if you want. She's like, but it's been sucked out of everything. Like everything's sucked out of it. Like it has no flavor. You're eating it. You're like, it's okay, but it's not.
I
It's
mean, they
not great.
make turkey soup with that, man. You put the broth in there and throw the meat in there. You got something nice.
Oh, we already took some meat off before boiling it down or whatever. It's like,
Yeah.
so this is just the rest of it. But,
I honestly don't think you get any flavor from boiling meat. If you're making stock, you get flavor from boiling like the skin and bones.
well, it's all that too. Yeah, it was everything.
She just took everything, threw it in there, right? Boiled
Pretty
it
much.
drained it.
Haphazardly.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Now, why did you decide to buy such a large bird instead of going with like 2 chickens or a couple of Cornish game hens or a
Especially
duck?
since you fucking hate turkey.
Yeah.
I felt like
But
my
no,
arch nemesis.
he hates.
I wanted
no,
to eat the blood of my enemies.
That's that's fair, being
You know?
Thanksgiving and all. But I think Mike just hates deli sliced turkey.
That is true. I ate this turkey. It wasn't bad. A little dry, as turkey tends to be, but
I assume it
actually
was
wasn't
not
that bad.
brined.
It was not. But it
Mistake
was
number
pretty
1.
good. But it was pretty good. And but yeah, but I have a rule, right? Or I'll say a guideline. You can eat turkey between Thanksgiving and Christmas, or I'll even extend it to New Year's, whatever. But
Okay.
you know, so I sent a text. I've told people at work this before. I'm like turkey. I'm like Christmas, Thanksgiving. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So I took a picture of my turkey, and I sent it to group chat like 3 or 4 people at my job, and I was like, I declare turkey season open.
Yeah.
I was like, get your fill.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Now that actually brings up a good point. Would you ever like to go turkey hunting?
Eh, maybe.
Like, to kill them for fun? Or, perhaps if it's in season to consume.
Well, I definitely want to consume it.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Is that like the ultimate humiliation for a turkey? That's as low as they can go, so that's where you want to put them on your totem pole?
Well, you could get eaten.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't really thinking about it that way, but yeah, I guess you're right. I've been seeing these stupid videos people make online on Instagram and everywhere, and it's like they show a turkey and they put a huge block of cheese inside it and stuff, and like all this stuff, and
Gross.
tie
What
it
the
up
fuck?
and all this stuff. Yeah, and this guy is there on the side commenting. He's like, "Imagine you get killed, and then someone shoves a giant block of cheese up your ass." He's like, "What the
Yeah.
hell, man?" Like,
I saw. Did you show me that? I feel like I saw that before.
maybe. Or you just saw. You probably follow half the accounts I do. So
Was it Epic Mealtime who did that?
well, not the thing I watched. But
Yeah, I mean, I've seen someone stick cheese in a turkey before, and I've been like, come on. Yeah,
That's not even remotely appealing.
it's like cheese on stir fry. It's weird.
Yeah.
Just because stir fry is good and cheese is good doesn't mean they go together.
Apparently, for whatever reason, Koreans love putting melted cheese on everything now.
I mean, Asians are weird. Sorry, Asian.
It's true.
You're weird.
what the fuck?
Whatever, man. Have you seen that fucking Burger King Squid Ink burger? The whole burger's black. Fuck out of here.
No, and I want it.
Asians are weird, and they or like umami,
Right.
aka let's ingest a pound of MSG. Which is fine.
What is umami?
It's the fifth flavor, Mike.
Yeah,
The fifth flavor.
and we
Haven't
probably
you
haven't
accepted
experienced
this?
it. We're all stupid.
No, James is right. It's basically like, if something tastes delicious and you're like, this clearly has MSG and like mushroom powder in it or something, that's umami.
So it says besides sweet, sour, salt, and bitter,
Mm-hmm.
there's umami.
Yep.
Responding to the flavor of glutamates, especially monosodium glutamate.
MSG.
Interesting.
It's,
Tomatoes are rich in umami components.
yeah, it's found in a lot of
Soy
Asian
sauce.
foods.
Yep.
Well, then I love umami. Clearly.
I love your mommy too. Got him.
Oh, that's like that. That's like that spoonerism almost, but not.
Almost, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So Evan, I guess you didn't have a traditional spread. You said you went to see my other people.
Yeah.
And
I'm pretty sure I just had Panda Express, but I did treat myself, and I got the honey walnut shrimp, which is delicious.
interesting.
You've never had that, have you?
I would never order anything with walnut in the name, so no.
Sounds pretty good, actually.
It is good. If you've ever been to a Chinese buffet and you've had that shrimp covered in a sauce, a sweet sauce that looks like mayonnaise, it's like that. That's condensed milk and other flavorings.
Oh, okay.
It's really quite good.
I'm sure it is. I mean, I've never ordered something from a Chinese place or any of those places and been like, ugh, this is crap. So I'm sure it's good.
How dare you serve this to me?
I mean, it's savory, right? It's like a sweet, salty, crunchy.
It's sweet and salty, yeah.
James, you didn't travel anywhere for Thanksgiving or anything?
Just to the kitchen.
Just to the kitchen.
Yep.
You bought your turkey at Weiss and you.
No, I had an even more exotic meal. I had a bowl of oatmeal.
And
Hey, they would have had oats in traditional Thanksgiving times.
Just oatmeal.
It's like turkey flavored oatmeal. You put some gravy over your
so
oatmeal.
James, is that what you're eating every day now? Oatmeal?
I mean, I probably eat it once a day for breakfast or for dinner or something like that.
And then what do you eat the rest of the time?
Salmon. Just to make some kind of stir fry or something. Lots of stir fries.
I support that.
Okay. So are you like losing weight?
I don't know. I'm not checking that. I'm just trying to survive, baby.
Mike, this is 2020. Body positivity.
Yeah.
Okay. Get woke.
I don't think I'm losing weight. I think I'm just, I don't know, maintaining, which is what I normally do. I don't think I'm losing weight though. And I'm not trying to lose weight. I'm not doing it to lose weight. It's cheap. I like the oatmeal.
Cultivating mass.
Trying to become a bulk boy,
You're already there, my friend.
Trying to become the thickest individual.
Yeah. I think you're already there. You need to cut back.
And what he's saying by that is,
Put
James,
down the fork.
You're doing a great job.
I'm reaching my goals.
Yeah, you're accomplishing something.
Yeah, but no. Yeah,
I'm hearing birds. Shouldn't they be in the fucking Florida or something by now?
In the Florida.
In Florida.
I guess
those goddamn Montgomery County flamingos, get out of here.
Yeah. Get your one leg out of here. But yeah, no, it was a pretty chill week, man. I didn't do much. I stayed home. I played video games.
Did you enjoy the extra day off?
I mean, I haven't been doing much, so
yeah. And you started something new, so presumably it's, slowish anyways.
Yeah, slow vibe, getting into a new job. Just did some training and sat around most days, honestly.
Did you go to the office?
Nope, not at all.
Did they give you a laptop?
Nope, they didn't give me anything. I got email accounts and access. That's it. I still don't have access to my contract systems, or I just have 2 contractor emails.
Presumably, they will give you a laptop at some point.
I don't know. Maybe.
Or
I guess they would to connect to the office network. Yeah, I'm sure they will. I just don't know.
Okay.
So we'll see.
And I don't remember asking you this before, but what kind of telework are you eligible for with this position, if you know? If any, of course.
I think there's some remote.
Okay.
Just because of COVID. That's
good.
A normal situation.
Okay. So in like a year, you'll just be back at the office?
I mean, probably, I guess. I don't really know. I don't know anything about it. I think Monday's my first time talking to the customer. So.
Okay. Well, good luck.
And no one has said anything to me yet about like what that is going to pertain to. So.
That's good.
Yeah.
You always like to go in blind, right?
Yeah, exactly. Blind and uncertain.
Yeah. I'm just going to wing it.
Yeah.
You go in there, they're like, so what can you tell us about Nutanix? You're like, VMware is a great product. I highly advise you to swap immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's exactly something I would say.
Yeah. It's like, now, Nutanix, let me tell you about the storage opportunities you got with this thing.
It's about right.
Yeah, good times. My week was quite calm. Some might say boring as well. On Tuesday, my manager sent me a very urgent message asking if I would be working Wednesday and Friday surrounding Thanksgiving, because of course there's some last minute emergency drama, production system accounts need the passwords and shit like that. And they're like, oh my God, it's going to take days. So 4 of us got together and finished in like 45 minutes, which is always the case in that sort of situation. Everything's exaggerated and everyone's in a panic, and they're all on conference calls for longer.
Take days took 45 minutes.
Yeah. With 4 people.
Right.
Yep.
And you could have done it all yourself.
It would have taken me a day of like casually doing it, but yes, I could have. And realistically, if someone was like a PowerShell expert, it could have been done in a couple minutes. Mm-hmm. It's just like logging on to servers, changing the associated domain account for a certain service, and restarting that service. So I think that could have been done with PowerShell. It seems simple enough. Yeah. I don't know, security reasons, whatever, is what it is. But yeah, we're all finished. They're like, there's 80 systems that are going to go down over the weekend if we don't do this. Took an hour.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, Evan, you saved the day.
I did. I mean, I'll take the praise. I'll take some of that credit. It goes on my performance review. Give me some more money. I'm all about it.
Well, you're about to move up anyway, right?
Yep. I will certainly keep you all updated when that happens. Hopefully I'll hear about it tomorrow. I'm going to ask my manager tomorrow, because she is the selecting manager on one of the positions. And
nice.
The detail closed on the 25th, so they should be picking soon, if it's not done already. So I'll keep you up to date.
Very good.
But yeah, more money, more problems. Am I right?
More money, less problems. That's how that
That's
works.
that's the actual reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we're just poor people who are just saying that because we're poor and stupid. But
James, don't
in my
destroy
experience, in my
my
experience,
mental image.
no, in my experience, more money equals less issues.
Yeah, that is true.
Yep.
I don't really have anything else to say about that. Should we get into some news?
Yeah, let's jump in. So we've got a little bit of a mystery, or we had a little bit of a mystery, but we'll quickly talk about it here. So the Utah Department of Public Safety, they were doing their annual bighorn sheep count from a helicopter, which
Of
is
course.
basically 3 grown men in a helicopter fucking around. Okay.
Saying, "Oh, there's one."
Yeah, they're probably just like it's probably the chill job, right? It's probably just like, oh, we're gonna fuck around, we'll just fucking fuck off for like a couple days, for a couple hours, fuck around out here. So they flew, they're from Moab, not the mother of all bombs, but a town called Moab, and they flew out some 80 miles outside of Moab, and while they're flying over, counting the sheep, the bighorn sheep, they found this monolith sticking out of the ground. Okay, it's about 12 feet tall or something like that. Um, but yeah, it was just sticking out of the ground in the middle of like this little like crevasse, I guess you'd call it, or not a crevasse, but I don't know what you'd call it. But it was sticking out of the ground there, and the sheep were just running around it, just chilling, like, and they're like,
Were they performing a ceremony?
No. I don't even know if the sheep were actually near it, but they were just like this. They show this picture, like, oh yeah, they were out there taking pictures of sheep. I saw this initially and I was like, this is stupid. Whatever, this is dumb. And this picture's the best. Look at this picture.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, what's a title? It's like 2 grown men, one with another one on his fucking leg, on his shoulders. It's fucking great. So the helicopter crew landed their helicopter somewhere, hiked down, and went and looked at it. And yeah, they took a bunch of pictures and some awkward video and stuff. I'll mute that video, but yeah, I mean, it's just them standing by the thing and taking pictures. So as you could see, I was looking at this and I was like, okay, there are rivet holes in it, right? See these holes right here? They're all in the same position and everywhere. Down there, like 2 feet between, or a foot between, something like that, or a foot and a half between, whatever it is. So this tells you like this is like some man-made thing or some made thing.
Well, it tells you that we're on the same level of industrial engineering as aliens, because they also see the benefit of using rivets in aircraft grade aluminum.
I mean, yeah, I guess that could be it too.
So we're fucking smart.
So
good job, humans.
If you look down here and right here, you can just see saw marks. Right? And I saw this and I was like thinking to myself, how would you get this in the ground? I was like, okay, someone came out there with a concrete saw and they cut a square hole in the concrete, a triangle hole in the concrete saw. Then they took a fucking what's that thing that chops up the fucking ground, the concrete, and it looks like a
jackhammer.
Yeah, they took a jackhammer, cut a big hole, and then pulled out the debris and stuck this thing in. And it's hollow. It's just 2 pieces or 4 pieces of metal, of sheet metal. Plop, 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 rivet, and then capped. That's it. Simple. And they stuck it in the ground for some reason. And then they used epoxy. So these guys found epoxy marks where it was in the ground, down there too.
So not aliens?
No, not aliens at all. Just some fucking dude.
Damn.
So everything here is cool with this, right? And I saw this and I was like, okay, it's only a matter of time before the government pulls it out of the ground, right? Because it's on private land, it's on public land, and the BLM, Bureau of Land Management, not Black Lives Matter, was really upset. They're like, well, this is a crime. You're not allowed to put shit out here on the public grounds. We're going to investigate this, So they said they released this video footage. They released everything you see on the site, and when they did, they said, we're not going to release the location because it's very hard to get out here, and we don't want people to hurt themselves trying to get out here, right? So the internet, being the internet, was like, well, we're going to go ahead and just find this thing. So they stood up this channel called Find the Monolith, and if you let's jump down to the bottom here, the very first post is here we go. The very first post is the flight path of the helicopter. So someone took the flight path of the helicopter, extrapolated the location from the flight path, and found it in like a day. Okay. So this guy's like, here's the most likely area where the bighorn. So they say, if you read into this, you'll see, I think here or one of these posts, the guy says, oh no, this one. Yeah, here we go. So in this post, the guy says the location and how he found it. And I think it's here maybe, or no, it's here. It's this one. Yeah. So this is so funny to read. Okay, like it just tells you how crazy the internet is and how full of geniuses it is. It's like, I looked at the rock type, sandstone, color, red and white, no black streaks as found. And it goes on like this, you know what I mean? Where he's like explaining the logic, and he was like, the flat area where a helicopter could land, I extrapolated the location and scale and altitude. It's like, okay.
Nerd.
Yeah, nerd. I'm glad these people exist, right? Like, I'm glad they exist. But yeah, it's like found CA data analysis practicing his or her off-duty hobby. It's just like, dude, it's just like, dude, it's so crazy. This shit is so crazy. Yeah, the guy's name is Bearfucker. It's so crazy, dude. But honestly, it's cool. So this guy found it, and once they found it, you could see it on Google Earth and everything else like that. It was really easy to find after that. So people started going out there, and people got some great pictures of it. This couple right here, as you see, they went out there, but apparently super hard to get to. There's like a 2 or 3 mile, like an off-road drive that's extreme off-road, like really bad off-road. And then there's another like 1 kilometer hike on foot you'd have to do to get out to where it is. And this is really close to the place where that guy got trapped between the rocks, had to cut his arm off with a pocket knife.
Mm-hmm.
So it's super remote, So they're right to like not want people going out there.
You know what helps you get there though, James?
What's that?
A helicopter.
Oh,
I was
absolutely.
gonna say a helicopter.
Yeah, of course. But some cool pictures coming out of this,
Mm-hmm.
But and there's one here I want to show you. So there's this wacky couple or whatever, but there's it's like a Viking grave found. Okay, yeah.
Now, where are the conspiracy theories?
I mean, people are like, oh, it's aliens, it's this, is that. Where's the good picture I want to show? Oh, here's this guy. Yeah, this I thought was pretty cool. This guy's like sitting on top of it. But apparently this thing was found. So they looked at Google Earth and they said, okay, it actually in 2015 or 2016 or whatever, it wasn't there. And then in 2017 or 2016, like sometime in the fall, it appeared. So people are guessing that it went in around the 50th anniversary of 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Okay.
That's what people are guessing, which is like April something, 2016 or 2017. I can't remember, 2018. I'm not sure. But that's what people think. But anyway, I just think it's a weird art installation somebody put there, obviously. Another thing, I tell you a wacky theory I had. I was like, I'll bet you there's another one exactly on the other side of the planet. But the other side of the planet is the Indian Ocean. So someone
doesn't mean it's not there.
Yeah, so someone was like, don't pull it out. You'll drain the Indian Ocean,
One in Washington State or something?
If there is, I don't know about that one. Not familiar with that.
I just saw something about that.
I feel like this is akin to when someone butchers the national anthem. Because if they're paying tribute to the 50th anniversary of 2001: A Space Odyssey, but then by installing this, we'll call it a monolith in the desert, but they chose to not use like the big black slab. They're like, I'm going to put my own artistic spin on this and make it worse.
Yeah, exactly. Like
it needs to be 1 by 4 by 9. I mean, come
Yeah,
on.
it's just disrespectful.
Hello.
Well, I mean, I agree with you. Like, that's the only thing that made me that poked holes in that argument for me. And I just think this is like a wacky arts installation someone did with no thought about like who, what, when, or where, and any connection to 2001, like zero connection to
It just so
2001.
happens it's 50 years.
Yeah, yeah, it just so happened. And honestly, we
Okay.
don't know that was the right time period. The time, and I'm getting the dates wrong, but if you look on this page, if you look in here, they have it in here where it appeared and it wasn't there before.
The nerds have it documented.
Yeah, so it seems that it was there for. It's about a 1 year gap of time when it could have gone in between when the satellite saw it and when the satellite didn't see it on Google Earth.
Mm-hmm.
So I honestly don't think that it was. I just think somebody just did it. I don't think it was anything else. I think somebody just was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna put it in there. I don't care," you know. So, so that's not all of the story though. Turns out, whoever put it in was like, "Oh, this was a huge mistake. We need to get it out right now." So then they went ahead and removed it. And so now this is all that's there.
A stump?
Yeah, a pile of rocks
Ah.
with something in it.
So allegedly the installer removed it, not BLM?
Yeah, BLM says they didn't do it.
Hmm.
I was certain BLM would have removed it though. But yeah. So, but they found at the site, someone wrote in dust the words goodbye. And then
dude, it's like I'm gonna leave a note written in dust.
Yeah. So they wrote a note saying goodbye, and there was urine next to the site. So
was it sheep urine?
So we know it was an
Did the goats do it?
I don't know.
That's true.
It could have been a goat's, but I feel like piss on the ground and a weird fucking note.
Yeah.
Is probably, this person went and took this out, then went home and played Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
It was a 13-year-old boy. But yeah, so I don't know. Whatever. It's gone now. It's too bad it's gone. It was an interesting little quirk. They should have left it. But I'm sure they were like, "Oh, my name is written on the inside," or some shit like that,
Could be.
And they were probably terrified of like getting caught. Or something stupid like it was a time capsule and inside was actually shit. We don't know. We have no idea. Who knows?
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Lots of theories to be examined for years to come.
So yeah, all the links are there for that. So enjoy. The next one is mine too, and that is this one right here. I'm sure we've all heard about this week.
I'm so glad when you put this in here.
Yeah,
I have not seen this before, so I'm interested.
So look, the funny thing is, I didn't hear about it till Michael posted. Someone posted it in our group chat, and Michael posted. He said, "I saw this and I thought it was fake." That's what he said in our text message, and I was like, "What is this?" So I looked it up. So it turns out Thanksgiving Day, the president normally does a little thing with the troops, and he does Thanksgiving, like a Thanksgiving call with troops all over the world. It's a very common thing. It's pretty regular.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Trump did it from this tiny ass desk for some reason. Okay, and if you see the desk, it's a tiny ass desk.
Yeah.
It's like, look at that.
Why?
Yeah, so it's like, why? Like, he's obviously in the Oval Office in this shot. Why did he do it from this desk? Or
maybe because it's in front of the fireplace.
I have no idea.
He's not in the Oval Office.
No, he's not. He's not, because that painting is not there. He's in some
other White House.
He's in the White House somewhere. But that desk doesn't make any sense. I just don't understand. It's so small. So I think.
Yeah, there were like weird desk, undecorated tree next to him. Like, what's that?
Yeah,
they brought in a table from the hallway and put that presidential seal on it.
Basically, so there's a lot of theories going on. But first, before we jump to the theories.
What's up with the weird carpet?
Well, it's a freshly vacuumed carpet, and then 1 million people walked on it all day. But let's talk about what happened. So this is a press conference where he talked to the troops. He did this video with the troops, and then the press asked him questions. The press conference is apparently a must-see. I haven't seen it. I've just merely read about it. But apparently the whole press conference was spent arguing about voter fraud, arguing about stolen elections, He told and this is I find hilarious, and I highlighted it, but I lost my. We found out that we can't highlight things in what's it called here. But let's see here. Where does it say? Yeah. So a reporter asked him. A reporter said, "So will you concede?" That's all he said. And the guy said, "He said you're a lightweight." He's like, "Don't ever talk to me that way. You're just a lightweight. Don't talk to me like that. I'm the president of the United States. Don't ever talk to the president that way."
That's funny.
Yeah, and apparently this whole thing, it's like a 45-minute, whatever, 30-minute thing, it was a tirade. It was just this whiny tirade. So you imagine a grown big baby going on a whiny tirade from this tiny ass desk. You know? I mean, the scale of the desk is just like something. Look at that.
Yeah.
Like the bigger the picture, the worse it looks. The worse it looks. You know? And actually a friend of ours posted, and I wish I could find that post, Michael, of the play school desk. It was like my first presidency. You know? That's the box said. It said my first presidency, and it was a desk. Someone's calling me. Someone's calling me right now. Suspected spam caller. Thank you. It's probably I'm gonna pick up the call and say, "Shisho bow bow." I'm like, oh fucking hell.
Was
Chinese
the desk scaled
robocall?
down to make his hands look huge or something?
I don't know. So here's one of the theories, right? One of the theories is that there is a White House staffer who's like, fuck it. And this White House staffer, oh, Michael found it. Michael found it. Here we go. Okay, I'll post it in here. I'll put it here so we can see. This is so good. Yeah, there we go. That's great.
I like the with signable executive orders.
Yeah,
that's,
and it's like
that's
also
great.
available. My first border wall and my first
Yeah.
impeachment. Oh my god, it's so good. It's so perfect. But the funny thing is they were like, yeah, the person who set this desk up is obviously the same person who rerouted Rudy Giuliani's press conference to the backyard of a gardening center,
a landscaping
office, you know, in a warehouse district next between a strip club and a fucking, I don't know, a trash compactor site or something. And I was just like, oh my god. I said,
so this is the good kind of insider threat.
Yeah, it's like, what if there's like some kind of internal insurrection? It's just like, fuck it, you know, I'm gonna bring that down.
Yeah, the one I found said whoever it was at the White House that put this MF on TV at the goddamn kids table for Thanksgiving deserves a fucking medal.
Yeah.
They're right, man. This is just so ridiculous, but so great.
Yeah, it's awesome. I couldn't ask for anything more, honestly. Like it's hilarious. And I'm sure it was just like somebody being stupid. Like if there's anything I've learned from the Trump campaign, the Trump organization, is that the quality of people at the White House is so thoroughly degraded that this kind of stuff is totally overlooked. You know? Like people just don't care anymore. Like they're not even worried about Trump's image because on a subconscious level, they know the image is so thoroughly of the presidency is so thoroughly degraded that none of this stuff matters. But like none of this would have slid by any other presidency. Like a tree, having a Christmas tree with nothing on it, no way. There wouldn't be a naked Christmas tree. What room is this in? Like why are they filming something in this room? Look at this fucking thing next to him. What is this? Why is this in this shot? You know? Like it doesn't make any sense. You know? Why would you allow people in the room to take pictures and shit? You have this naked tree there. You're sitting in this. It just doesn't make any sense. There's a lot of problems with this. A ton of problems. So I don't really know.
That's behind the scenes, James.
I mean, I guess.
Ruining our perception.
Yeah. So Trump is
still
having
hilarious
problems with the tiny desk. Yeah, he's mad about that. He has a problem with the size of things, and it's a big issue for him. So yeah, we'll have to keep that in mind. But yeah, and I think the last thing is mine too. The next one, or the next thing we have here. So this one is from the Guardian, and I will post that up here for us to take a look at. Well, we got these windows open here. Cool. Same thing again. Awesome. So the guy who is supposedly the head of the Iranian nuclear program or nuclear weapons program was killed the other day, and that's wonderful. Yeah, so he was shot like brutally, like gangland style, shot, and there was apparently some grenades involved. It's pretty hardcore. They're blaming the U.S. and Israel for it. Israel probably did it. You
Mm-hmm.
know, they identified him. They're the ones who said he was the head of their nuclear weapons program. The Iranians are pretty pissed. So only reason I mention this is because one, it fell under the radar. Like nobody talked about it this week. People are so worried about Trump's tiny desk that's the height of the thing. But possibly, Mike Pompeo talked about this and how great it was. So there's a possibility that the U.S. was somehow involved, even if it was just from a information transfer, like, oh, he's going to be here, or use our satellites, or we're going to insert your team, or whatever the case may be. So I think it's just important to remember that even while Trump is being neutered in the public, they're still like super dangerous, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the Trump people are they can hurt us, you know? And so the thing is, they're saying that because they're saying Israel is trying to do everything they can to damage Biden's ability to reestablish the peace talks. So they want to make it so it's untenable for the U.S. to re-engage in the Iran nuclear deal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they just want to make it so Iran is too pissed to come back to the table, which this might do. I mean, the Ayatollah's like, yeah, we're going to take vengeance on America and Israel for this, you know.
Great.
And some people might be like, oh, that's unwarranted. But you know what? In my 40 years of life, I've realized that not everything you see is everything it's true. Just because people in the U.S. say, oh, this is, you know, Native Americans chose to live in reservations, doesn't mean that's necessarily true. You know what I mean? Or black people chose slavery because, you know, they're not as smart as white people. Not necessarily true.
I mean, it's, it could be a choice, but maybe you don't know the whole choice. It's like, did Native Americans choose to live on a reservation? Yes. Was the other option death? Perhaps.
Yes. Yeah. Mayhaps. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I mean, so the point is that just because we believe that the Iranians are these evil bad guys, more than likely the truth is somewhere in the middle. Probably it's probably very gray. They are definitely people who just want to live like us, but they're also people who want to protect themselves and be like, I'll be honest with you, if I was a third world country, or if I was a country who had the ability to get to a nuclear level, I'd be terrified of someone like the Americas existing.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have nuclear weapons, they've used them before, and they project power all over the world. You know? And you see when Americans project power, they're busy toppling governments and doing all kinds of things. You know? So if I was Iran, I'd be terrified of the United States of America and what we're capable of. You know? And so every single action they would do would be all about projecting their own power and showing, they have to show America. Like Iran fucked up when America blew up, when they bombed, they killed the fucking military guy in January or something like that. And Iran like had a riot in front of a American base and, you know, whatever, but that was it. I mean, I hate to say it, wrong move. They should have gone more hardcore. But the thing is, they know, but the thing is that's what I say because I don't run a country. But if you run a country, you're like, if we go more hardcore in a country like America, they will use that as a way to get in here and fight us. Because desperately, that's what Pompeo and Israel and a lot of these guys wanted to do. They wanted to go and fight. They wanted to go to Iran into a war. They wanted to push Iran into a corner. And Iran had to just take the L and look like a fucking bunch of chumps. You know? I feel sorry for any small country who is at odds with America because you're just in a bad spot.
You get bullied pretty hard.
Yeah, and every American citizen is just going to believe whatever the government tells them. You know, they're not going to realize that the reality is in the whole world, America is looked at as a bully and not necessarily a broker of peace, but people who do regime change wars, and you definitely don't want to fuck with us because we'll fuck right back with you. Which, as an American, is great, right? Like, people don't want to fuck with us, but it's also bad because I hate to be looked poorly upon.
What is the true cost of peace, James?
No, and that's hey, these are all good questions. You're right. You're right. But let's be honest. Does what America does overseas keep Americans alive?
Yes,
Does it keep Americans safe?
mostly.
That's a variable question. You know, a lot of people say when I go overseas, I don't wear any flag patches or anything like that because people knowing you're an
Yeah,
American makes you put you at risk. You know,
true. And in my head, I was like, does it keep Americans safe while they're at home in America?
yeah,
Totally.
sure it does. Of course it does. But also the Atlantic Ocean does that too, and so the Pacific
Right.
Ocean. So
You know what? You got a point.
yeah,
Now, here's a question I had when you first brought this up. Are the leaders or like heads of various countries' nuclear programs normally secret? Like, I don't know who the head of the U.S. nuclear program is because I've never looked it up, and I'm dumb or something. But is that something like we try to keep from other countries?
I don't think that's a thing
You
in
know.
America. There's not a head
Okay.
of the nuclear program. That's not a thing.
Okay. But like this, the
It's way more spread out.
right. So the head of the former head of the Iranian nuclear program or North Korean nuclear program, whatever. Are those like state secrets?
I mean I'm sure they are, but these countries are so thoroughly compromised by us. You know, I mean,
We just know.
so you know what I think? I think that the fact is asking America's system is so big and so vast that penetrating the American like military industrial complex to get the information of like who's in charge of because there's definitely one person in charge of it, right? It
Mhm.
comes to either it's someone at the NDRC, NRDC or whatever, or it's someone in the military, but someone's in charge of like America's nuclear stance. You know, someone under the under the president and something like that. And maybe it's like the head of the Defense Department. I don't know who it is, but that person exists, you know. So, but I think the American industrial complex is so big that if you're Tehran or Iran or something, how are you going to find that out? You know, you're going to insert so you're talking about cultivating, like maybe I'm sure the Russians know, right?
Mm.
Because the Russians, the British, these guys have been doing fucking covert ops and fucking
Espionage.
espionage shit for for 100 years, right? They're better at it than we are, you know. But they're probably the only ones who can play on our level. These countries like Tehran and shit. Like, I want you to think about this. Okay, we just talked about this. What would it take for some Iranian group to get in the country? Okay, and let's assume Iranians look like it could be anyone. Okay, and I guess they could be, right? Because we have people from all over the world in this. So, what would
Mm-hmm.
it take for Iranians to get in the country, B, get armed with the weapons they need, and C, go find the guy and kill the guy in the streets of an American city? Okay, a level of pre-existing lawlessness has to exist already to allow that to happen, which America
True.
just doesn't have. You know,
True.
so there's a lot of things that are protecting Americans, and most of them don't have to do with the stuff Trump says or the things the military does overseas. You know, it has to do with the police departments and people naturally being gun phobic in America, or the people who have guns behaving a certain way with them. Like, you're not going to see a guy, like, at least where we live, you're not going to see a guy just walking down the street with an AK-47. It's not normal. And you're not going to
Mm-hmm.
see people get out of a car and shoot another car. It's not a thing that exists here, you know? And there's enough cops around that people, if you did that, you wouldn't just drive away and nothing happened to you. You know, you'd be found for sure. 100% you'd be found, you know? So I think all this perpetrating all this shit in the Middle East is a lot easier than it is here, man. People are poor. They need money. We got tons of money to throw at these motherfuckers. You know, I'm sure that their government's so thoroughly penetrated by by the Mossad, and by the CIA, and by the MI6, and all this shit that it's just like, you know, all kinds of information out there that we know about them that they don't want us to know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sucks to not be American. B, get good.
True.
What did I remember? I was saying we have military bases all over the place, right?
Yeah.
I think I don't know what I was listening to or what I read, but I think I saw it said 800 military bases around the world.
I wouldn't have guessed that many, but I probably would have said like 250.
Oh, it's a lot. 800 is probably right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Oh, good old double standard, though. We never have a Russian base or like an Indian military base in the U.S.
Nope.
Fuck off.
Very true.
So, speaking of foreigners, would anyone like to
I thought I'd say, speaking of fuck off.
Why is Spanish illegal?
Right. So here, this story, this article talks about how the U.S. Border Agency has settled with 2 Americans who were detained for speaking Spanish. Now, honestly, they were only detained. It's not like they like got locked up and all this kind of stuff.
Right.
But they were like stopped somewhere and like you can't leave. It'd be like if you got stopped by the police and you couldn't leave for like 2 hours or something,
Right.
It was basically like that. Like they were like detained, quote unquote, This is in Montana, so this is like way north. This is not south near Mexico. This is way north near Canada, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And these 2 gals were speaking Spanish. They were in line at a 7-Eleven or something, speaking Spanish to each other. And there was a border patrol agent there, and he started questioning them, and he detained them for a certain amount of time, called for backup, had other agents come, all this stuff.
That's so dumb. But that,
It's
and I don't mean to interrupt.
Spanish here is weird. Like that's why they did it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe in Montana. But something that came to mind is like, where does the jurisdiction end of a border agent?
Apparently, isn't it 50 miles from the border?
I don't know.
I think that's what it is, which is a lot, honestly. But
yeah. So is this gas station in the picture like within 50 miles? Or I thought you were gonna say like duty never stops. Know, shit like that.
That's probably how you felt.
It's 35 miles south of the Canadian border.
I mean, you give a motherfucker a gun, and they're like, "I got power, baby."
Yeah, this is my responsibility. I'm saving this country.
Mm-hmm. One small Hispanic woman at a time.
Right.
I'm going to keep them from cleaning our houses and picking our oranges and making our lives generally better by doing the things we refuse to do. Fuck having a labor class. Fuck our ancestors. Fuck everything America was built on. We got to get these fucking Españolos out of here.
Look, other patrol agents arrived along with the supervisor. One of the women asked the supervisor if she and her friend would have been detained if they had been speaking French. No, he responded, we don't do that.
Aha, right.
So they're speaking French, no problem, but they're speaking Spanish, so...
It's like no one knows what French sounds like. It's a dead language. Stop fucking around.
And the ACLU filed a lawsuit on the women's behalf.
Good.
So,
I saw that they were involved, so that's a positive.
And they won their case. So, good.
Okay, good. Dude, that's like if you're this officer and do none of your coworkers and supervisors show up and like say, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Dude, all these guys are in the same headspace. And the one or two guys who aren't are probably too cowardice to say anything. They're like, well, Jed, Nick, and Joe all think that these fucking spickers didn't come from here. So I just won't say anything, even though this is ridiculous.
They'll be deemed unsuitable for field work.
Yeah, I guess. The blue wall?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure somebody thought this was wrong, but they just didn't say anything.
What if there was 2 Indian people there speaking fucking Hindi?
Then they would have been shot because they look like terrorists.
Right.
Oh.
He's got a turban on, Jed. Shoot him.
Yep.
Get him now before he gets to there. He's got something in his pocket.
They're planning a caliphate takeover. Get rid of him.
The guy pulls out a full plate of hot curry. He's like, I just wanted my curry. It's like they gun him down with a plate of curry on his hand. In his hands. I thought it was a damn IED.
Yep.
Yep. So I just thought this was interesting now because honestly I had just like maybe a couple 2-3 weeks ago I heard a very similar story and I wish I had the details on it now, but I heard it on NPR and it was a story about some high school that's basically right on the border with some high school that's on the border, in I forget if it's in Arizona or Texas, but it's on the border with Mexico. And this is like in the late 90s. Border patrol agents were started hanging around there all the time, questioning students. Students would be walking home from school. They'd be like, "Let me see what's in your backpack," like all just harassing these people like nonstop. And just because now, okay, granted, most of them are Hispanic, but that doesn't really matter, right? That doesn't prove that they're from wherever, It's like, so it's just dumb, honestly. And so they eventually sued, and they won. The government, the court ruled, you can't stop these people because they look Hispanic. Like that's not a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sorry, bro.
That's a good ruling. But what about the reparations, Mike? What about the mental anguish all these students faced for years and years?
I mean, they got paid, I'm sure. They got paid.
I don't know if they actually got paid or not, but
I mean, there's a lawsuit. If there was a civil lawsuit,
these two women just got paid, but I don't know about in the other case if they got paid or if it was just stop doing that.
No. I'm sure they got paid because to bring up that stop. Who brought up the stop doing it? The government said, "You know what? We're going to check and see if you guys should be doing that." No, someone sued them.
Well, yeah.
So,
okay.
And if a lawyer was involved suing them, that means there was also some monetary gain involved because lawyers they do shit for free. They don't do it because they're an idealist. They believe we've got to stop this behavior. No, they're like, let's go take them to court. Let's get them to stop, and then let's.
Well, I think some lawyers do think that, James, but
yeah, but
that's why they became lawyers, or that's why they work for the ACLU.
Yeah,
they want justice overall.
Mm-hmm. Just us. Yeah.
Oh my God, James is such a cynic. Oh no,
I see it.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Oh well. All right. Well, we'll write you off. You're only gonna stick around a couple more years anyway. So it's
yeah, I'm just kicking around for a little bit.
All right.
All good.
So we're gonna jump down to the entertainment section. Something that Mike and I thoroughly enjoyed yesterday as part of a double feature. A fantastic movie called Thanksgiving that was brought to our attention by Mike himself. The synopsis reads, a homicidal turkey axes off college kids during Thanksgiving break. Accurate. The movie opens with several students. Well, it opens with a pair of nice tits, bitch. They were very nice. It didn't last too long because of an ancient Indian burial ground. You reincarnated a turkey who has demonic powers and human speech, and it goes on a murdering rampage, etc., as you do during Thanksgiving.
Right.
Cut to a bunch of high school kids getting out of school, really pumped, hyped up for Thanksgiving break, which is something I never really cared about because it was like an extra day. It was like a long weekend.
Yeah, I thought that was odd too. They were acting like it was spring break.
Yeah. It's like, we got 2 weeks off for Thanksgiving, bro.
2 weeks?
They didn't say that.
No. That's what they were acting like.
When was this filmed?
Yeah. When was it?
Yeah, it's like 60s or 70s or 80s.
2009.
Oh, God. Okay, never mind.
If you're
in the 80s, they got like 4 days off maybe.
No. I mean, if you're asking it, like, was it a period piece? I mean, it could have been early, as far back as the early 90s or something like that. It wasn't, but if they were trying to make it older, because they had Jeep Wranglers and shit like that.
It was filmed in the great state of Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas we all know everything comes from.
Correct. And since we're talking about the filming right now, Mike, would you care to touch on the budget for this blockbuster?
Well, I don't know where the numbers came from, but I've been told that the film was the entire budget was $3,500.
Are you serious? It looks like it.
And guess what? I mean, they must have spent that money on the camera and paying the woman at the beginning of the movie to run around topless.
Right.
Who was a
Although
porn
I will
star.
say, yeah,
although
I
mean, everyone's like, that's where all the budget went. How much do you think it costs to pay a porn star to run around topless? $50? I mean, it can't cost that much.
I would say more than $50. However, I believe the going rate for a normal adult scene, which could last hours, is roughly $1,000.
Right. So how
so
much
assuming
to have
you
run
paid
around
her
on the screen for 5 minutes is what, $300? I mean,
I mean, it depends how she's charging. If it's by the hour, by the booking, like if they booked her, maybe we'll say conservatively $600.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
So
then
the rest is spent on a camera.
We'll say another $600 for a camera from a pawn shop, or maybe they rented one for a week.
The turkey. Look at the turkey. Oh my god.
Oh, James. First of all, you need to watch this movie.
I don't know what you were doing. I don't know what you were doing that was so important that you couldn't join us last night.
Dude, he was playing Squad. James, this kind of bad movie would have you cackling with laughter. It's so good.
Oh my god.
Yeah. The turkey's like, that was foul. Like,
oh my god.
Yeah. And I don't think they said this, but it's the bad like turkey puns, like "see you next beak," shit like that. Yeah,
it's so good. It does have stuff like that in it. Yeah, and it's great. Honestly, it's actually it was very enjoyable actually.
Yeah, it's really good. And I thought it was an accident where they like reused a clip of the same joke twice, 5 minutes apart. But because I think the same person told it. I don't even remember. But
is the turkey having sex with this woman?
Yes. Yeah. And he kills someone with like one of those electric knives or something. I think I'm remembering the correct scene. Yeah, and he's like, "You just got stuffed." Or it's James. You got to watch this.
Those things, by the way, those carving knives have fallen off. They've fallen out of favor.
I never understood them, but then again, I've never actually seen or held one in person. So,
I mean, they're not good. If you're going to be cutting meat, you definitely want a straight blade, non-serrated. And I think they kind of came into fashion, in the maybe mid to late 60s to mid to late 70s. When everyone was like, "Oh, there's a new contraption for this. Let me purchase this contraption."
3?
Yes. Okay. We'll touch on that. So, is there anything else you want to say about Thanksgiving, Mike? It's 70 minutes long, an easy watch. The acting, pretty bad. They made some football puns because the leading male character he got demoted to backup quarterback. And there's one scene where he lies to his dad saying that he regained the starting quarterback position. And that's the only way he could make his dad talk to him again and regain his love. But then later on, he was like, "I guess life's really not like a football game. You can't just call an audible or a timeout. You got to go with it." Shit like that. Ugh. I mean, it's bad.
I've never heard that term audible.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, what is he saying? Like, I don't know what that means.
It lost you for a second there?
Is this actually a thing, or is he just making something up?
It's a football term.
It is actually a thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
It's
was
like
very
if
confused by that.
did you look up the term? Are you confused
I did
still? I
not.
can clarify. Okay.
Please do.
So, say you have a designed play in a football game, but as the quarterback, you see something, on the field that doesn't match up. The defense is lining up in a suspicious way. You think they're coming for me, so you call an audible, which cancels the previous play, and you basically call a new play at the line.
Yeah, it just means
Is
something
that like
on the
blue
fly.
42? Blue 42.
I mean, it could be.
Like that.
Yeah, it's more like, okay, the plan's not going to work. I'm making a new call. We're going to wing
Yeah, it's
it.
just something on the fly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an on the fly plan.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you let everyone know that?
That's discussed in team meetings and everything, beforehand.
Yeah, so imagine you have a book full of plans, blue 42, reds 46, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And your coach says, okay, we're going to go blue 42 this time. You say, okay, you go out there and you're about to call blue 42 and you see them doing something weird. So you say, okay, I'm going to call an audible because it's up to the quarterback. And so he calls an audible and he changes the plan on the fly and he goes to red 46 and he calls red 46 and they go instead of blue 42. Blue 42 is just a name of plan. Project Alpha Mike, Maneuver 6 Bravo. I mean, it's just whatever.
Sure.
It's just how they disguise, their plan. Like you'd never hear someone say, use a Hail Mary because everyone knows what a Hail Mary is. You know what I mean?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So,
right.
Yeah. So turkey puns, football puns, bad acting. Although I will say with the bad acting, they didn't draw it out for too long. It was like very contained within certain scenes, and it was short enough to where you're like, okay, well, that was bad, funny bad. I'm glad they cut it off. So that leads us to the sequel, Thanksgiving 3.
So that's not Thanksgiving. Where's the Thanksgiving 2?
Okay, well, I'm going to read you the synopsis of Thanksgiving 3, and that will answer your question.
Okay.
Foul-mouthed villain Turkey, Turkie, that's his name, I guess, carves through the likes of a rapping grandma, a mindless puppet, a wig-wearing inventor, a bisexual space worm, interesting, and their equally ridiculous friends on his quest to recover the last copy of Thanksgiving 2. So the understanding in the Thanksgiving universe is that Thanksgiving 2 exists in that universe and was essentially destroyed except for this one last copy, and then the goal of Thanksgiving 3 is to recover it.
So it's super meta.
Yeah, it's very meta. That's a great word for it. Yeah.
So I guess they know? Like,
yeah.
They know. They're aware. They're like, this is a bad movie. Like, it was made.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good enough. It's like, motherfucker. Oh, yeah. Okay. They're burning copies of Thanksgiving 2. You know what? Mad props to them. I'm not mad at them for this. Is that the bird? He's in a hood or something?
Yeah. So, I mean, if it was really fun to watch as a group like we did, but if you have an hour to kill, James, watch Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Maybe have a drink with you. It's not that bad, though.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, actually, the next movie we watched was that bad.
Yeah, it was. And I was drinking. It was tough.
Wait.
Oh, you were drinking. I wasn't even drinking.
Wait, so I thought you guys watched Thanksgiving 1 and 3.
No, we watched Thanksgiving 1, followed by a movie called Food Fight, which was suggested by someone else.
Yeah, that movie came off to me as so bad.
Yeah, would not recommend. I didn't link it in here because I don't really have much to say about it other than do not recommend.
Yeah.
It's Food Fight, all one word. There's a star-studded cast of voice actors: Charlie Sheen, Hilary Duff, Eva Longoria, Wayne Brady, Christopher Lloyd, Chris Kattan. It goes on. Jerry Stiller.
Chris Kattan, star-studded. Chris Kattan.
How dare you?
You know the name, don't you?
I mean, only because he's that bad.
Okay.
Jerry
Stiller.
I mean, he's not the Stiller we care about. I guess he's a still we cared about from 1986 or something. Known for B movie comedies. Yeah.
Haley Duff. Hello. No, I'm kidding.
Haley Duff, not Hillary Duff.
They're both in it.
They're a package deal.
It's like Bradley Moore, Roger Moore's younger brother.
Right.
Johnson Wilson, Owen Wilson's younger brother. I was like, great, thanks. I'm glad it's star-studded.
The third Hemsworth.
Ed Asner.
Yeah. Ed Asner, yeah, he's old.
I mean, everyone was in it, but they shouldn't have been.
Yeah. This movie was awful. One of the most glaring problems with it is the animation, which is just terrible.
Yeah. Christopher Lloyd's character animation was amazing in a horrible way. And his voice acting really did fit that animation.
That is true.
He sort of... It was like a very poor rekindling, reenactment, reprisal of his role in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. He was like a devious. He was the one who wanted to melt Toontown.
Oh, okay, all right.
He's a bad guy, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, he was the main bad guy. So do not watch Food Fight. I'm going to quickly jump back to Thanksgiving, something that I neglected to put in the show notes. I sent to Mike earlier. I've put an Amazon link in here to Thanksgiving the Musical studio cast recording. It is explicit, so not for kids. But if you would, if this is on your Christmas list, which, spoiler alert, it might be a couple copies out there somewhere. Here you go.
It's like, I want to know how we can watch the musical. That's what I want to know.
Right, and I don't know if they ever recorded video, but there's some audio.
Boobies.
Yes. I like how they put that as the opening track, much like it was in the opening shot.
Gobble,
I mean,
gobble.
there's like, there's a set of really, really wonderful breasts in the first 5 seconds of the movie, James.
Yeah. Wanda Lust.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly. A certified porn star. Certifiable? No.
That's all I have to say about Thanksgiving, and we briefly touched on Food Fight, which once again you should not watch. Anything else to speak about in entertainment, or should we move down to some games?
I say we move down to some games.
All right. James.
Yeah.
Tell us about Marauder.
Sorry, I'm looking at pictures of Wanda Lust. All right,
yeah.
Marauder. So Marauder, I think we talked about this like maybe a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago. It's billed as Escape from Tarkov in space. Okay. If that doesn't mean anything to you, basically Escape from Tarkov is considered a very realistic, very intense looter shooter survival game. Looter shooter is basically like you shoot a guy, you loot his body, he has things you need, he has your stuff. Food,
yeah,
guns,
dude,
bullets,
that's still
whatever.
one of the best analyses of video games. Like, he has your stuff, man.
Yeah, exactly.
He has your stuff.
Yeah, it is 100%. I love it. I absolutely love it. He has your stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what Matt said to me once. He's like, "Go get him. He has your stuff." I'm like, okay, cool. But yeah, so Marauder is basically that type of game. It takes place in space. It takes place in a universe where the Cold War either continued or there was some kind of change to our history, and it ended up that we took Cold War into space with us, basically. So there's a lot of there's a lot of guns and whatnot in here that are like older guns. Like you'll see a lot of old Russian pistols and it takes place in the 80s. So there's like that's an old I forgot the name of that gun. It's a PSSH, a Pisht or whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
it's an old Russian gun. That's the ship you have. So you have a little spaceship and you fly the spaceship around. So basically, you fly the spaceship out of like a gate or something, you know, and you fly to these I don't know, moon bases or whatever. You land, and when you land on the moon base, you get out and you go loot, and then get back in your ship and try to escape. So you can be there's fighting in the world. There's fighting in space, and that's so you try to extract. It's the same as Escape from Tarkov, and this shows some of the mechanics here, the looter shooter mechanics. It looks really good. The mechanics seem to run really well, and I watched the playthrough of it. It wasn't so I saw it. I saw the trailer, and the trailer was like a guy had talked about it like a year and a half ago, and he played it, and he was like, "Yeah, this is like a tech demo. It barely works. It's cool. The concept's cool. We'll have to wait a little while and see." And honestly, I didn't expect to see this game anytime soon. I totally forgot about it. I was excited about it because I love space games, but I had forgotten about it. And now this guy, I saw another guy playing the alpha, and it seems very playable. He's like, "Yeah, it's playable, but there's obviously a lot of problems with the game. It's definitely buggy. It's in alpha state, but it still runs decently well for what you're getting. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
excited about it. I'm not going to jump in right now, but I'll probably pick up a copy soon. It's $20, so
It's not bad.
yeah, I'll probably pick up a copy and see what's up. You know, but yeah, it has a
Is it on
weird.
Steam or do you have to buy it from the developer?
No, you got to buy it. So they're on Fig, which is another type of funding system, kind of
Like Indiegogo or
like Indiegogo or Fund or Kickstarter. It's very
Kickstarter? Mm.
similar. It works a little differently, but it's very similar. So they're on Fig. Once you go on Fig, you buy it on Fig. It's $20 or $35. Once you buy it, you have to uh, give your Discord ID to Fig or something, and then you go on Discord, and they're using Discord as their game delivery platform, which Discord is. So Discord, you can buy games. If you didn't know this, you can buy games in Discord. So
I did not know that.
yeah, you can. I bought one game from Discord just to try it out. It's pretty cool. It's a cool little platformer. But yeah, so they're distributing their games through Discord. They're probably going to use Discord for their VoIP, I'll bet you. So that's probably
Mm-hmm.
why they're doing that. But yeah, it's cool, and it's only $20. So why not? Worst case scenario, you lose $20, but it looks interesting, and I think it's going to force people to diversify their gaming capabilities a little bit, less kind of run around and shooty, and more kind of thinking about space and all those kind of things. Especially the survival aspects of it will probably be interesting when they implement it. So there'll be food, water. Obviously, that's what all of our games have, but then there's going to be this whole other element of like you're in space, so oxygen, my
Right.
suit core, that kind of things. So I'm excited about that. I can't wait to see what it's going to be like. So I'll probably pick it up in the coming weeks just to have it, just to get on the ground floor.
Maybe you can stream it.
Yeah, maybe I will. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Yeah, it looks cool.
All right.
And I got a.
And
Oh, sorry. Yeah, and there's a link to the playthrough if you want to see him playing it.
okay.
There's a link in the show notes, guys. Just click on it. It should say gameplay.
Cool. Were there without watching the gameplay video, were there any like crashes or major hiccups?
No. So they don't have animations for docking and shit like that. So basically, you fly into a thing, and then next thing you know, you're inside walking around, right?
Oh, okay.
So the guy a couple times was like, he's like, it's broken, it doesn't work, and then he was moving the ship back and forth, trying to get access to trying to get in, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, and he was in. He's like, oh, okay,
Mm.
But he didn't show a lot of the bugs, but he's like, yeah, the game is buggy for sure. Like, don't expect getting a AAA title. This is a buggy indie game made by a few guys.
Right.
So
Okay.
I think now we're at the point where we're like, yeah, we just expect indie games to be junk, and you just kind of tolerate like subpar performance for like 5 to 10 years until the game actually comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Good. My weekly.
Oh, there's your reminder
that I refuse to deal with.
It's been going on. It's been going on for 7-8 years
Yeah.
now. It's fine.
Yep. Reminded me of something I refuse to deal with.
Yeah.
Who knows what that is?
It's a mystery.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's it for our show notes. It's pretty short this week. Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about before we head out?
New week,
no.
New you.
We saw.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll quickly mention. I guess me and Evan watched Discovery. Pretty mediocre episode.
Yeah, lots of as James liked to say, MacGuffins, which is a good word that I need to start using more. Lots of plot holes, disobedience. Oh, and there's spoiler alert. Did Tilly get promoted this episode, or was that the last time?
This episode, yeah.
So Ensign Tilly is the new first officer. Having not been through the command training program or anything, and something I pointed out to James, she didn't even have to order her best friend to its death to gain the right to command. So we'll see how that works out.
Michael Burnham.
Yes.
Well, it should have been the blonde chick with the ponytail.
Yeah, it should have been Arium V2.
Yeah, not Detmer, but Arium V2. Yeah, whatever her name is. Michael, you know what we're talking about. The tall, skinny blonde.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know her name either. I don't know if anyone knows her name.
But I feel like it should have been her, right?
Yes. And because she was left in command at least twice in the last, 3 episodes.
Yeah. So it seemed pretty obvious that, if the chain, obviously you're not picking people at random, right? And we've never seen Tilly. Tilly has never been left in command of the ship, ever. So
I don't think so.
Now,
maybe once. Maybe when she was pretending to be Captain Killy.
Oh yeah, well sure.
If that counts.
But the rules are different there, right? She just killed somebody to get that position. But now this is something that Star Trek just refuses to look at. But we're assuming the assumption is there's a second and third shift, right? So it's pretty established knowledge that the Star Trek that we see, so Picard, Riker, Deanna Troi, all those people who are on the Data, all these people, that's first shift, right? That's the first people who come up in the morning. Same thing for Voyager, same thing on the Enterprise, on both Enterprises, same thing on Pike's Enterprise, and same thing here on Discovery. So the main crew, the people you see, that's the tier 1 crew, the captain, so on and so forth, right? At some point, though, during the day, a lieutenant commander takes over for second shift, and then there's either a ensign or a lieutenant or something like that, probably a lieutenant, who takes over for third shift. So what would normally happen is some second shift person would come up, or someone would come up, if the captain left, the commander would become captain, and the second shift person who's a con in second shift would come to lieutenant, or second in command, or something like that. I don't know for sure, but there's something. And actually, Michael should ask Ed. He would know. But I'm sure there's a cycle to this, right? How this works. So I'm just kind of what is exactly the Federation? Are there any rules to how this works? You can't just randomly be you know what, Tilly, great red hair, beautiful titties, you're now second in command. Winning smile, I love those chubby cheeks. Look, I'll be the first one. I love Tilly, not because she's some thick white girl and I like thick white girls, which I don't have a problem with thick white girls, but not because of any of those reasons, because I love her character. She's funny and interesting and wacky and weird and bad and good all at the same time. And she's just the quirkiness in her. I love it. She's a great addition to Star Trek. I wish there was more characters to play off of that vibe and that energy she puts out, but she's still great. you know. But I just don't think it makes sense for her character to be second in command.
Correct.
You know?
Yes, and to go back to what Mike was sort of semi-asking, Michael Burnham has been demoted to science officer, which was her, I guess, her previous duties, because due to her like fourth or fifth incident of insubordination.
Yeah,
doing whatever she wants.
Yeah, she doesn't care. She should have been. Honestly, they should have been like, you know what? You're way more hassle than you're worth.
Yeah, you're out of Starfleet.
Yeah, we're gonna just put you. We're gonna leave you on Cilium 3 with a duffel bag. Have fun selling these tricorders. Here you go. You know,
the planet of laughs. Cilium
Yeah,
3.
She's the main character.
I mean, but still, she's a like that. Her behavior would be tolerated anywhere. And
Right.
and here's the thing, right? What does she bring to the table that ship doesn't need? The ship's full of smart people.
Mm-hmm.
In some cases, way smarter than her. What does she bring to the table? Now, this last episode, they leveraged her connection to Vulcan, right? But for the most part, there's nothing about anyone on that crew 930 years in the future that couldn't be easily replaced by someone way smarter who understands new versions of science that these guys couldn't even begin to broach. You know, so I just don't. She's super replaceable. You know, I just don't like, and she's not a good actress. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm happy as a black person that the main protagonist of a Star Trek is a black woman. That's great. But couldn't they have found a better actress? She's not a good actress. She doesn't do a good job. And her character is bad. Just like, not even just her. She's bad. She has two emotions, but her character, like what they've written the character to do is so bad. Problematic. But the thing is, in this day and age, if the people who complain about her always skirt one or two edges, right? They're either, she's a woman, blah, 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 no more women, blah, 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 trans rights, fuck you, trans people. Or they're like us, and we get bundled into that other group of people who are crazy, and they're like, oh, well, fuck women. And that's not what I'm saying. You know? I like all women on the show, except for her. And I even like her to some extent.
You want her to do better.
I want her to do better. I want her to learn how to act. I want her to learn how to act, and I want them to give her a character, like fix her character so she's not such a bad person. You know? If you had plenty of time to be like, I'm out of Starfleet. When they came back, you could have picked them up out of the ice and said, I'm glad you guys are back, and I'm here to help you, but I'm not a member of Starfleet anymore. I'm going to hang out with this fucking idiot Book and his fat cat. And
on our disassembling and reassembling blade ship.
Yeah. And we're fucking these whales. That's what we do now. We fuck whales. You know? We fuck space whales, and I jizz on Book's forehead when he glows. You know? And guess what? I'd have been satisfied with that, but all right, cool.
It glistens, James.
Yeah, it glistens. He's like, Soro, you should see his forehead when my coom is on it. It's like, anyway.
Saru's like, Coom?
Coom? What is this coom? And he waves his arms around.
Yeah.
You guys, what the fuck?
Oh, that's
Mike's not a coomer. It's like he doesn't know.
That's a Zoomer phrase, Michael. You don't know what that is. Coom is like a derivative of cum.
Yeah, I know what it means. I get it. All right. I just don't know. I just wonder what the hell's going on right now. What are you guys doing?
No, I mean we're off on a tangent.
Yeah.
What's this thing you're doing right now? Like, stop. Just fucking stop, all right? The show's bad enough already, all right? You don't need to fucking... And it's all we have. It's all we fucking have, all right?
True.
And we're still going to watch it every Saturday or every Thursday, whatever. We're still going to watch it, even though we're like, wow, this is ridiculous. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
And then we'll do it again for Picard. You know, that's all we have.
That was a fucking disappointment. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
And I'm still going to watch the second season. Bring it back. Like,
yeah.
Me too. I'm ready for more.
Are these shows, they must be making money, otherwise they wouldn't be making them, right? So, I guess they're doing well.
I think they have a dedicated fan base, dude. I think a lot of Star Trek fans are like us. They're just like, I hate these shows, but I gotta watch because Because, well, no, where else are you going to get good Star Trek? There's no good Star Trek. There's no more like Next Generation or any show like that. It just doesn't exist.
The only one that's kind of like that, and now it's been moved off of Fox, is Evan's favorite show.
Oh, with the guy from what's his name?
Yes. Oh, Orville. Yeah. It's on Hulu.
But it's not Star Trek.
No.
There are gonna be certain people who just aren't gonna watch because it's not Star Trek. You know, like me. And honestly, I don't like that guy. His comedy is sort of annoying to me. So, and his face is very punchable. So, there's something about him I just don't. Anyway, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, it sucks. But they got us. They got us. They know. They're like, we can do whatever they want. We can put
one of these days
on a paper plate, put it in the sun, and then say, "Here's Star Trek," and we will sit for half an hour and watch. They know it, so they don't have to give us what we want. They don't have to deliver us what we watched for. Like, dude, you think 6 or 7 years and like 4 or 5 movies would tell them, just give these motherfuckers more Next Generation? You know, give us the Enterprise fucking Q with a whole new crew cultivated to look just like the original crew. You know, that's all they got to do, and we'll be like, all right, I'm in. Here I am, baby. Here we go. You know. Give us, instead of data, give us this motherfucking name info. You know what I mean? I'm down. I'll watch info. You know?
Oh god.
Oh my god. Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, one of these days we'll have to accept that what we want is no more, and it's been replaced by reality shows and like fiance shows.
Yeah.
Have you seen the white trash versions of these shows now? They have.
No, but it's a sad time to be alive.
They have white trash versions, and they have whatever you call that, but for black people versions also of. Yeah. Yeah, like you know who Honey Boo Boo is, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a show about her family. But it's not called Honey Boo Boo or anything. It's something I don't know what it's called. But
oh, well, that's because they know people love Honey Boo Boo. They love watching that car accident.
Yeah, because it makes people feel better about their lives.
I guess it's like her mom is there. You're like looking at these people like, are they retarded?
Yes.
Like they look retarded.
Yeah. So, years of inbreeding has done something horrible to this whole family.
Right. Exactly. So on the same channel that they air that, they air these shows about, it's life after lockup. That's what, or is that what it is? Love after lockup. Love after lockup. So
why does that have to be black people, Joe Biden?
It's usually black people, but it also has black guys with white women, but it also has then white women getting out of jail and then hooking up with black dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's like this whole thing.
Is that the thing? Is it always like that?
No, just usually.
Oh, okay. So there's white guys hooking up with white women.
Well, that I don't know about that. Yeah. Maybe not.
Wow. It's like we can't be proud of that anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. I almost want to watch one of these shows just to see if it's bad as I think it is, but it must be.
Of course it is. There's not a question. Anyways.
Love after lockup.
Oh, there's a white couple. There's
only
one,
so much trash
two,
TV.
Three white couples.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, what do I know?
But it's 3 white couples after 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 black couple, 4 mixed race couples. Or no, 2 black couples. 2 black white couples. 1 woman couple, 2 women. But the thing is, these people, right? They were in jail. So you have a woman or a man who was dating a woman or a man who was in jail, who did something stupid for a long period of time, enough to gotten into jail. You know, this motherfucker ain't coming out like a rogue scholar. You know what I mean?
What kind of scholar?
A Rhodes scholar. Rhodes Scholar, excuse me.
It's like they might be coming out like a rogue scholar. You're right.
Yeah,
true.
maybe they will be. They'll be coming out as a rogue scholar, not a Rhodes Scholar. For the longest time, let me not pretend like I knew it, but for the longest time, I thought it was Rogue Scholar. For the longest time.
It's fine.
That's funny, and also whatever. You heard about? What's the new judge?
Yeah.
Amy Coney, whatever her fucking name is.
What?
Barrett.
So who's is it? Kaylee McEnany or however you say her fucking name?
Yeah, she's horrible.
She said that she's a Rhodes Scholar.
Yeah.
She's not. Amy Coney Barrett or whatever her name is not. She went to a school called something Rhodes School or some shit like that.
Oh God.
But she is not a
ma-
Rhodes Scholar.
Is she from Tennessee? Because there is a Rhodes College where I live. So maybe she
really?
went there. Yeah. And I saw the sign for it. I'm like, that's not what people are talking about.
Yeah, Rhodes
when they
Scholar,
say Rhodes Scholar.
Yeah, Rhodes Scholar is like that's like some kind of special something you get from like an Ivy League, right?
Yeah.
Or like
Yeah,
you
it
have
says
to.
here she said she's a Rhodes Scholar. That's someone who receives a Rhodes Scholarship to attend Oxford University in England. Okay.
There you go. It's not her.
Right. She attended Rhodes College, which may be what you're talking about, Evan.
Okay.
In Memphis, Tennessee.
Hey,
Yes.
there you go.
There you go. So Rhodes College in Memphis, Tennessee. So
Dude,
yeah, that's hilarious.
This like Life After Lockup comes on Wii TV. That tells you right there what the deal is with this.
Yeah, is Wii TV like for like black people or
No.
what is it? What
it's
is
for
it?
women. It's for women.
Oh, it's for women. Okay.
Yeah, it's for women.
I knew it was for someone, just didn't know who. Okay.
All these channels are for somebody, but as far as I
Just
know,
not us.
yeah, as far as I know, this channel.
We. No, I don't know.
Maybe hold on, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe it isn't for. There's a show on here called Braxton Family Values. What the fuck?
That
It's
sounds
about
white as
the
fuck.
Braxtons. It's about Tony Braxton and her family.
Oh, I
says
thought it was like John and 8+8, but every kid's named Braxton.
No, you're right, James. It says primarily targeting women. WE was formerly used as abbreviation for women's entertainment.
There you go. Yeah. But there's a lot of black women on it. Oh, you know what? You know what? They probably went all in after this whole George Floyd shit. They were like, "Oh, we got to bring black people back."
George
Mhm.
Floyd.
Yeah.
Floyd. Oh,
my
George
God.
Floyd.
He's like, the same
Yeah,
George.
I was like, is that a
Floyd.
boxer? Like,
Is
that's
he
what I was thinking
a-
in my head.
He's a butter magnate, isn't he? Like, wait, what? Butter magnate.
Yeah,
Um,
of the Floyds of London. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm probably taking a big guess here, but it seems like a lot of black people on this channel. When most of these
See?
channels didn't give a shit about having black people on them many years ago.
That's why I thought it was for black people, but yeah, it's for women. Yeah.
Growing up hip hop in Atlanta, Waka
Yes.
and Tammy. Like, who cares about Waka Flocka Flame?
Yes, growing up hip hop. That's another one I've seen ads for. I'm like, okay.
Beyond
This is
the
what's
Pole
rotting
about strippers.
the minds of the
I think
public.
WeTV is the Honey Boo Boo show. I think it's on this channel.
Yeah, Mama and June from
That's it.
from not
That's
to
it.
hot.
That's it.
Yeah. Is this? I think this is Honey Boo Boo right here as an adult. She looks horrible.
Mhm,
Of course she does.
She
Let's
looks
see
like
it.
she
Let's see it. Let's see it.
ate.
So
everything.
let's show our audience, James. What does Honey Boo Boo look like now?
I'm pretty sure that's her right there.
Yes. So that is not her.
This is her.
That bottom left, yes, that's her.
Yeah, yeah.
So tell me
course.
these people aren't retarded.
I mean, they're not retarded. They're Americans.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
The mom and the dad might be slightly retarded. The kids are just dumb.
Yeah, this is what an American looks like, Michael.
It's true.
James.
It's unfortunately
Look at her.
true.
Holy shit. Face off with Mama. Mama's last chance. Get the fuck out of here. Behind the hell, holy shit.
I mean, Mike, I know you.
Yeah, this
you
is
don't-
her mom. This is the mom from Honey Boo Boo.
Yeah, she got gastric bypass, and she also has a cocaine habit.
Oh, that's right. They're always like, "Oh my God, what's Mom doing now?" Blah blah. Like,
No, but
you know,
yeah, she was.
That's right.
I remember in Honey Boo Boo, in the first thing, she was like, "Yeah, this is her." Yeah. Jesus Christ, what are you doing?
So, Mike, I know you don't go out in public often, but whenever you do, these are the people you see walking around, and
Not around
at least
here,
I
don't.
think, I mean, somewhat.
Maybe you do
I
in
think
fucking
what
Tennessee or
has
whatever.
it's definitely more prevalent in the not so desirable cities. Like seeing it in
Memphis is
Silver
the
Spring or
metropolis.
DC.
Wait a second.
Hey, it's
No,
not
I'm
bad.
kidding.
I'm saying
I'm kidding.
it's not DC or New York or LA.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah, right.
But like this is what America looks like now. And it's horrible.
I mean, you can go through the episode list and you see her degrading. Yeah, that's the mother. You see her becoming like whatever. Mm-hmm. Jesus. It's too bad.
Yeah.
This motherfucker. Jesus Christ. Tater Tata and Forklift Frida. Get the fuck out of here. What are you guys doing?
So, the reason that this is a show is because...
Redneck Romance. Look at this.
Because
look at this.
The average American.
I told you they're retarded.
Because the average
retarded.
because the average American wants to talk shit about other people and feel better about themselves.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, it's like somebody the thing is when you're the worst, you don't know you're the worst. You're like, this is how I live.
Mm-hmm.
So these people, these people are probably, they're aware, right? They're leaning into it. They know. But for the most part, if you're from their world, you don't know. This is how you live. You don't know that, like, your daughter shouldn't be blowing the guy in front of Krispy Kreme, that's not a normal thing to do. You're like, hey, this is what I did when I was a kid. That's how you find a husband. You blow a dude in front of Krispy Kreme. You know?
Mm-hmm.
It's just normal. So, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, man. When I see like stuff like this, I'm like I get eugenics. Like, I understand it.
Yes.
Look, don't wind Evan up, all right?
We should implement these policies immediately.
Evan's like, jawohl, mein Herr! Oh. Like,
I mean, I'm not
like,
about
I don't know
white
if we
supremacy.
should do it, but I get it.
Just take the best of every race. That's fine. I'm open to that idea.
Oh yeah, I don't think
not
like
just
the white
whites.
race is the best or something. Like,
yeah.
You know me. Get rid of all of us. Fuck. Let's let the Chinese take over or something. I don't care. You know, like, or Indians. Indians are smart as fuck. You know that. So.
Oh, okay. I was about which kind of Indian, Mike? You a little biased there.
They have a caste system. No, it's a pass.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
Indians are horrible.
You don't keep that. You get rid of that. You know, you keep the good, like Kevin said. Keep the good part.
No, just got a full reset. That's what I'm saying. Full reset.
Oh, you're just like done it, huh?
Yeah, full reset.
What is this, Braxton? Oh, is that like?
It's like Tony Braxton. Yeah, it's Tony Braxton. That's Tony Braxton right there. This has got to be her sisters or something. People you never heard of, I'm sure, but I never heard of them. But that's got to be what it is. Well, a bunch of women with fucking face jobs. She's got something going on with her face, Botox or something. She's got something. Her fucking lips look stretched out. Something going on there. All of them have something going on with their face. Tony Braxton looks like they try to inject like a baby into her face. Get the fuck out of here. What are you doing? Get it together. You know, Bridezilla, somehow that's still a thing.
Terrible. All this
Jesus
is terrible.
Christ, look at this.
I can't imagine. So that they're like, all right, we're gonna put you on Bridezilla. We're filming you. Like, and the woman's like, okay, like.
No, but you know what? They get on these shows and
like,
they go from like
sense.
They start to go crazy because they're like, oh, I'm on Bridezilla. I gotta ham it up. I want to be the top episode. So they start going in. They go all in on that shit. You know, and that's what happens to all these people. They know they're getting recorded, so they start to go in. They start to ramp this shit up. You know what I mean? Like, even us recording this show, we act the fool and get funny because we know somebody might see it. You know what I mean? But for the most part, you know, we're in check. But that's human nature, I think. You know, love after lockup. I need to watch this show just to see what the deal is.
James, I almost want to watch it myself. I'm like,
I want to watch it to see. I want to see what the fuck it is. I want to be like, what is this? You know?
Well, I've seen like 30-second ads for this on TV. So I've seen the trailer. I've just never seen the. I've never seen an actual show. So.
Look how much Law and Order, Law and Order, Law and Order, Law and Order, Law and Order.
That's the only reason why I've seen these trailers or these ads is because my mom has Law and Order on all day. It's either this or CNN. So. And they play Law and Order either on WeTV or on Ion, Ion television.
Dude, there's
which today all day is fucking Christmas movies. Dude, they're playing 2 Christmas movies tonight that, as far as I'm concerned, are the same Christmas movie, but just with different titles.
All Christmas movies.
Yes.
No, but these are like so lazy. It's like one's like a royal engagement and one's like an engagement with a royal prince or something like that. Like that's like the other like you're like, really? like they didn't even try.
The Princess Diaries and Diary of a Princess.
Yeah, I mean, almost. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's almost what it is.
Okay, well, you enjoy that. For anyone out there still listening or watching, I'm gonna slamming the gavel down. Show's over. Check us out at our website, iopanelpodcast.com. If you want to get in touch with us, you can stop by our Discord. Send us a email, feedback at iopanelpodcast.com. Check out our website again, please. Our social life section. You will find a link to our YouTube channel where you'll find all these recent video uploads. You can actually see us. You will also find our Discord, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Patreon, Amazon affiliate, all the ways to support the podcast other than listening. With all that being said, thank you very much for your time this week, and we'll see you next time.
I remember the days, always at the same place, the same people every day. I will never forget this black old Corvette standing in front of my way. We were both in high school. I thought I was a fool. Oh, when I was falling for you, you keep drawing me in, and I know it's a sin, but even so, yeah, I need you. You taste like candy. Eat you on a Sunday. Feels so bittersweet knowing I can leave. You taste like candy. Eat you on a Sunday. I can feel the beat of my heart and beats. 'Cause you taste like candy. Sunday feels so bittersweet knowing I can leave. You taste like candy. Eat you on a Sunday. I can feel the beat of my heart and beats. 'Cause you taste like candy. Tasty. You on a Sunday feels so bittersweet knowing I can leave. You taste like candy. Eat you on a Sunday. I can feel the beat of my heart increase. 'Cause it tastes like candy.